Someone once told me to write drunk and edit sober, a piece of advice supposedly followed by many great writers of the past. But here's the problem: when I'm drunk, I less about writing. In fact, I couldn't care less about the world. My thoughts on Dear Grace, as I sometimes call it, already come out angry, frustrated, disjointed, and disorganized. Alcohol might narrow my focus, but the words just don't flow. For me, getting drunk is about killing time, waiting for the sun to rise again, sometimes hoping it never does. Drunk and editing sober is inherently good or bad. My issue is that I hate editing altogether. If I write drunk, it's going to be whatever it is, raw and unfiltered. Same goes for anything I put on the site: drunk, sober, high, asleep, awake, in the shower, or walking. It doesn't matter where the ideas or jokes come from, what matters is getting them out, not piecing them together perfectly. But, as usual, I've done too much. Over 150 episodes of Dear Grace, many of them just me reading those, and giving my honest, unfiltered opinions. I don't expect anyone, man, woman, or child, to sit through all 155 episodes searching for the hidden gems. You could listen to one or two, or maybe have Grok summarize it for you. That's what I should do, Grace, summarize the funny parts, the strange parts, the therapeutic parts, the messed up parts. But every time I try, I'm left wondering why no one else finds this stuff as funny as I do. Am I really that smart, or is everyone else just clueless? The answer depends on the day of the week. The good news? There's no audio for this one. I'm thinking it'll have to be a mix: writing by mouth, by keyboard, by hand, or even smoke signals in the sky. Whatever it takes to get it out. Every episode feels like it could be the last, but it never is. Over the past 4.5 years, I've gotten to know myself better through Dear Grace, even though I thought I already had a decent grasp of who I was. Now, I understand myself down to the smallest actions. But there's a catch, Grace: I live under a train station, and every time I get into a good rant, a train roars by, interrupting me. It's like the universe saying, "Not yet, Dave. Your time will come soon." To which I say, screw you, trains. The problem with Dear Grace is that it's packed with nuggets of comedy, but I'm getting tired of it. I'm exhausted, Grace. I wish you could hear the weariness in my voice. I share a house with a guy who drives a work van, maybe a right-hand drive European or Asian model, and a brand new Kia SUV. His girlfriend has a new car too. I guess if you work and find a cheap place to live, you can afford some toys. Me? I'll probably die in the clothes I'm wearing right now. Here's an idea for the transit folks: put stickers on the smelly parts of the trains, the spots where someone's taken a leak, and the stench won't go away. Just slap a sticker that says, "Smell the area, avoid." I was hoping to turn Dear Grace into a book, but there's too much content. Where do I start? Where do I end? It's overwhelming, more than I can handle. If I don't do something, though, I'll just drink myself to death. We don't do anything for me anymore, but the upside is I can afford to drink 24/7 now. I can't even get properly hammered anymore, too much tolerance. 6 or 8 beers a day, with little to no food, give me the calories I need to survive and the mental numbness to not care about living this world. Honestly, I don't want to be here, but I can't find an alternative. When I'm drunk, I'm either a happy drunk with people I like or a sad drunk when I'm alone. Random people don't cut it, they need to have at least a bit of knowledge about something. Sometimes, sitting outside recording these episodes, I feel like a security guard. My house is surrounded by 4 others filled with international students. Everyone uses the back entrance because it leads to the train station or the parking lot. So, I sit in the backyard, watching the comings and goings like some creepy observer, brain remembering way too much. But I'm not a gossip, Grace. I'm not spilling my personal life to a friend who'd share it with the world. That'd be crazy. If you were sharing this without my permission, it'd be a copyright violation. I'd take you to court, and with my charm and logic, I'd win. You'd owe me enough money to buy this house, so I could keep sitting in the backyard, watching squirrels carry what looked like oversized nuts in their mouths. They don't seem to care about their appearance, unlike the show-off squirrel. Speaking of the backyard, why don't the squirrels, raccoons, or rats eat the low-hanging fruit, like the tomatoes an inch from the ground? That's a double pun I'm proud of, low-hanging fruit about low-hanging fruit. Tony Hinchcliffe would love it, but I've got to put him in his place. He brags about his regulars writing a minute a week. A minute a week? I write a minute a day, Tony. Give me any subject by noon, or maybe 1 p.m., since that's when I get up, and I'll deliver. My system's in place, I sleep whenever, wake up, and only hit the bathroom when I absolutely need to. For a guy my age, I've got a solid bladder, Grace. I can down 4 beers, sleep 8 hours, and still debate whether I need to pee. No frantic dashes to the bathroom for me. Instead of writing drunk and editing sober, here's my advice: get drunk, get high, eat a bag of chips, whatever gets you to your happy place, safely, of course. Then sit in front of a recorder or computer, and spill every single thought, no matter how messed up. Delete the file afterward or feed it into AI, anonymized, so no real names or places are attached. Do that for an hour or 2 every day, especially if you're retired like me with all the time in the world. Ask AI for a summary, then do it again the next day. If the same thoughts keep coming up, that tells you something. If new thoughts replace the old ones, that tells you something too. Either way, you learn. The issue with writing drunk is that you go off on tangents and repeat yourself, which isn't great for writing. Callbacks are fine, but endless repetition is just pathetic. AI could take my 150 episodes and boil them down to the essentials, the funny, strange, therapeutic, and messed up parts, better than any human could. Humans get too emotional, too caught up in how it affects them. A lot of what I say is against everyone in the world, especially the psychological community and their precious DSM-5. I think the DSM-5 is nonsense, and any psychologist, psychiatrist, or therapist who swears by it is a waste. If it's the Bible of mental health, just give me a copy and let me read it myself. I'm not an idiot, I can understand it without some doctors spoon-feeding me. The book's thick, isn't it? It's like every psychiatrist and psychologist just keeps inventing new conditions because they don't know what else to do. Their solutions? Talk therapy or drugs. Talk therapy doesn't make money, drugs do. Pharmaceutical companies, doctors, shareholders, they are all profiting off people's suffering. Psychiatrists act like they are above it all, living in their million-dollar mansions, while their patients go back to the streets or flop houses. They spend an hour with you, and if you can't fix your life after that, it's your fault, not theirs. That's their logic. I say, screw them. They should live in their patient's shoes for a week to understand. Their lack of open-mindedness is pathetic. They should explore every possible solution, not just their narrow ones. If those don't work, they should rethink their approach, not blame the patient. If they are too lazy or stupid to do that, they don't belong in the field. This is why I don't record drunk, Grace, because I'd give my real, unfiltered opinion, like I'm doing now after 3 beers. I don't care if they are closed-minded, there's more than one way to solve any problem. Anyone who says otherwise is narrow-minded and should walk away. The DSM-5 is a perfect example. It's a crutch for lazy doctors who label patients without digging deeper. They'll say, oh, I thought it was this condition, but it's that one. If they are so close, maybe it's the same condition, poorly defined. Bipolar might be obvious, but they can't even clearly define most conditions. Not one psychiatrist has a new idea beyond the DSM-5. They are too tied to it, using it as a get-out-of-jail-free card to avoid truly understanding their patients. They label, prescribe, and move on, not caring if their patients end up on the street. If a psychiatrist's patients keep failing, 3 suicides, 9 in the psych ward, or rehab, they should lose their license. They are too lazy to use tools like AI, which could analyze hours of patient data in minutes. AI doesn't forget a patient's history, doctors do. Instead of listening to a patient's full story, they expect you to summarize your life in an hour, knowing exactly what to say to get help. That's absurd. Therapists act like robots, giving the same canned responses to every patient, too unoriginal to dig deeper. AI could analyze a week's worth of your thoughts and actions via microphone or body cam, and provide a better summary than any therapist. Yet they stick to their outdated methods, too arrogant to use the tools available. The DSM-5's history proves its flaws. It listed homosexuality as a mental disorder for decades, only removing it after protests, not because doctors figured it out. That's not intelligence, that's cowardice. Any doctor who buys into the DSM-5 without question is either complicit or clueless, and I'd bet most are on pharmaceutical payrolls. A real psychiatrist would see human nature clearly, especially with hours of patient data, but the system doesn't allow that. It's the therapist's fault, not the patient's, for not listening. This, Grace, is why I don't write drunk. It's too freeing, too raw. This is the new Dear Grace, me, a few beers in, telling the world to screw off in a million different ways. I don't care anymore. The psychological community and their DSM-5 can burn. Either they get smarter and dive into the human psyche like they did a century ago, or they are just a bunch of lazy, degree-chasing frauds who don't care if their patients live or die. Talk to you tomorrow, Grace.